So now that we have our image manager, how do we integrate it with our Wysiwyg? Well, if you remember when we were looking at the module page, there were some instructions on integrating with the Wysiwyg. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at those. I'm going to jump back to the browser where we have the IMCE page open. And I'm going to scroll up to the part where it says how to integrate into Wysiwyg editors. So it says Wysiwyg API, which is what we're using. Install the IMCE Wysiwyg API bridge and enable IMCE as a plugin in the Wysiwyg administration. So it sounds like the way that it integrates is through a plugin, just like the media browser did. We were able to enable the media browser, which added a new button to our Wysiwyg that allowed us to embed an image. So it should look something similar to that, but it sounds like we need this additional module first. So let's go ahead and click on this module, and let's scroll down, and we see that there's not a recommended release for version 7. So if we're curious, we can find out how many people are using this 7 version to see if this is a development version that can actually be used. So I'm going to go ahead and click on View Usage Statistics, and I'm going to scroll down, and we see that as of last week, the 7 version had about 3,000 users, which isn't bad, especially for a new version of Drupal. So let's go ahead and go back and install the dev version for Drupal 7. I'm going to right-click on the tar.gz file and select Copy Link Location. I'm going to jump back to the site and go to the Modules page. I'm going to click Install New Module. I'm going to paste in the URL and click Install. And we got a few errors, which is not uncommon for a dev release. But let's go ahead and see if this was true and installation actually did fail, or if it's just throwing up some errors because it's complaining about something. So let's go to the administration pages and then navigate to the modules page again. And then let's do a browser search for bridge. Okay, here under user interface is IMCE Wysiwyg API bridge. All right, so let's go ahead and enable this and click Save Configuration. So again, those errors that we saw were just its way of saying, well, there was a problem with this download process, but it didn't mean that the download actually failed. Okay, so now that we have our module, we now need to enable the plugin inside of our Wysiwyg profile. So let's go ahead and go to Configuration in the Admin toolbar. Let's do a search on the page for Wysiwyg. Okay, it's here under Content Authoring, Wysiwyg Profiles. Let's go ahead and click on that. And again, we're editing the site editor profile, so let's go ahead and click Edit under Operations. And just like we did with the media module, let's go ahead and check out the buttons and plugins here. I'm going to click it to expand it. And let's do a search for IMCE. All right, when I did a search, it showed up this item here. Let's go ahead and check that, and then scroll down to the bottom and click Save. Now let's jump back to the browser where we're currently logged in as Heather, our site editor and marketing guru. And let's go back to the home page. Let's click Edit. Notice that we've lost some formatting on our page, and we'll tackle that in a little while. So when we look at the buttons here, we see that we still have the media browser enabled. We should probably disable that in order to not confuse the end user. But let's go ahead and click Image here and see what we have. Okay, so next to Image URL, we have this button that allows us to browse. Let's go ahead and click that. This opens up the file browser, and we see our home page photo here, which we uploaded earlier. Let's go ahead and click that. That loads the image down here below. And let's go ahead and just click this. It says Insert File in the title. So I'm going to click the image. We get a preview down below of the image, and here's the URL to it if we wanted to track down where it was in our file system. Okay, I'm going to click Insert. We get a little dialog here that says, are you sure you want to continue without including an image description? Without it, the image may not be accessible to some users with disabilities. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and add a description. I'm going to hit Cancel. And under image description, I'm going to say, person bravely climbing rocks. And I'm going to click Insert. All right, so we have our image now inside of our Wysiwyg.